Communication with the Ascended Masters. With Krishna. So then, what do we... I know Krishna spelled a few different ways. Krishna. So what do we know a little bit about Krishna? It's meant to help with strengthening relationships, creating harmony, helping to find soulmates, blessing homes, experiencing joy, overcoming prejudice and judgment, filling our lives with abundance. He's often depicted playing the flute, and he's a messenger of peace and laughter. In India, there's lots of stories about him that entertain children. They speak of value of kindness, the importance of preserving what you create, the boundless nature of wisdom, and the joy you can bring oneself. Krishna is the 8th divine incarnation of the god Vishnu. In his youth, he loved to seduce the young maidens of his village. He was a hero, a warrior, and a teacher. As a youth, he lived in the country and spent a great deal of time herding animals in the pastures. He is the embodiment of love, and his joy is so divine that it overcomes all pain and suffering. His twin flame's Radha, and there is a love story about Krishna and the young maiden Radha. It's often portrayed as a quest for union with the divine. They grew up together, they played, danced, and wanted to be together forever. When Krishna left to safeguard the virtues of truth, she waited for him. The connection with Krishna is incomplete without his divine partner Radha. Krishna's main message is one of harmony. He brings divine knowledge of the sacred realm to all people, with humility and acceptance for all paths. Krishna blesses everyone with his love. In the process, he destroys the darkness created by ignorance, prejudice, and judgment. Through his passion, he teaches about self-control and purity. Krishna believed that love was the greatest power in the universe and could overcome any obstacle. Right then, so we'll draw him first. She goes again. There she goes again. I don't think I've ever had anyone draw themselves quite like that. But here is Krishna. Torn with scribbles. I don't think I've ever had children like that. It reminded me of when I very first did a spirit portrait. Thinking I had loads of faces, not spirit portrait, spirit drawing, and you had loads of faces in it. How was just a little scribble. Really, after the eyes, but it actually stands out. So, paper, doesn't it? So, so we just had a big tap above us. I guess that was there. He goes again. But remember the joy of life. Try and say to yourselves, I have the man's heart in me, and it's noble. To be alive, to think, to feel, to have. My part in all the precious comes and goes of all things here. My very blood's attuned with the sweet air. My brain is musical, and every appetite a healthy more. Satisfied, not cloyed. It is fair. A world so good to be alive. Oh, time. To dance with the piping of desire. To feast each fancy with material fare. And then to heaven, as in a wink, and be immortal in the paradise of power. We just do that again as I stand up to stop the TV turning off. The joy of life. Try and remember. Let's try and think this way. I have the man's heart in me, and it's noble. To be alive, to think, to feel, to have. My part in all the precious come and go of all things here. My very blood's attuned with the sweet air. My brain is musical, and every appetite a healthy more. Is satisfied, not cloyed. It is so fair. A world so good to be alive. Oh, time. To dance with the piping of desire. To feast each fancy with material fare. And then to heaven, as in a wink, and be immortal in the paradise of power. So if you want to ascend as high as you can, say enjoy. Try and enjoy while down here. Let your mind be musical by following the heart. If you have an appetite, and like you would with food, feed the desire. So, he says it's about trusting the heart, trusting your spiritual guidance, because that comes in from the heart, or your higher being, your higher self. But you must first recognize yourself, your commitment. If you want to know you're unconditionally loved, reconnect to your unconditional love that you have for oneself. He says he can help people on the astral plane too, to do it joyously and find what's for you. He says he's known as a great aviator. He says, a lot of people say he's embodied with divine wisdom. He says that's not what he comes down for. He doesn't give wisdom. He shows people how to connect to the wisdom or where to find it. Feeding the appetite of desire. So he's not the holder of all wisdom. But tries to show you if you've got a desire, a hunger for the wisdom, then don't give up on it. There'll never be a simple answer. There'll always be something more to learn. He says in India, from a young age, he seemed to be very approachable. He assures you he is. at all. Yes, it does. I do. I do speak of prejudice, but mainly for oneself. The bigger prejudice in the world. People hold with themselves, thinking they can't do well, or they can't do this. That is a prejudice against your spiritual self. You may as well enjoy it while you exist. Exist you always will, but not on the physical world. Not in physical form anyway. So don't be prejudiced, which is taught from a young age. Not taught in special words, but it's often without praise. The only real need is to praise oneself. Don't be prejudiced to yourself. Oh, flip. I said that was an important message. Ways to step forward there. He's still around me, but you see, prejudice is a limitation. Often people will tell others they can do as they wish, put their mind to it, and then it can exist. But any form of prejudice within oneself is a limitation you're implying. It's holding you back from growth yourself. That's not just growth on the physical world, it's ascending much higher. Keeping the energy ascending to the highest it can be. Only have love. That's the way it's meant to be. You see, no good going through life. A spirit never would. With the constant view of what other people think you should do. It's all about following your heart and being blessed within, by yourself, by you. The joy, the happiness. Dance your own dance. Sing your own song. See, it's important. I'm just getting that he passes it on at the moment. Before he gives the latter part, what he gives, he must show you. So don't always make what someone else tells you to make. Make what you want to make, the way you want to make it. So if you want to close your eyes and let him come close, it's not what I've got planned, but if he wants to come close to you now, he can.
Nobody can tell ya. There's only one song worth singing. They may try and sell ya, but it hangs them up to see someone like you. But you gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song.
That makes sense.
Make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. You're gonna be nowhere, the loneliest kind of lonely. It may be rough going, just to do your things, the hardest thing to do. But you gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song. Make your own kind of music,
So I guess now we can understand the relevance. I said no one's ever drawn like that before. It doesn't matter if no one else does it your way. It doesn't matter if you do something different. As long as you do your best, the outcome will always be the same. There's not one path to doing something one way. There's many. And often, the trodden paths that we try to follow may lead us to a wrong result anyway. So we've got to open the hearts. And that means singing. Even with words. So we need you to know. You can't be prejudiced yourself. That stops you singing your own kind of song. And it's not about other people's standards. It's not about what other people think. I say, words can hurt, but only if you don't know yourself. If you know yourself, that's what matters. And following your heart. He says, you have a strong connection. Everyone does. Some stronger than others. But it's trusting the guidance. Most give guidance, but don't listen to it for themselves. It does come through. Being spiritual. It's really the wrong words. It's about trusting your heart. The heart isn't alone. The heart is always interconnected with love, universal love, creator's love. Listen to the heart. That you're tuned in with all. All is one. You see, it is often said, do you remember not to use just one's head? That you're a spiritual being that's having a physical experience. Yet, silencing the spiritual part of you that has more knowledge than you ever will do. While on the physical plane, you may not understand all the heart says, but as long as you follow it, then it's highest guidance. Higher, much higher, than just from the head. Yes, you may need the head to put the heart's actions into place, but that is trusting in your spiritual place. You have all been recognized, and you all know what to feel. Yet, you're living in the present moment, doing what your heart does feel. So when the art of decision is needed, decision is the creator opening the doors that are needed. So if you decide you're going to feed a desire where you want it to be, forget exactly how it is going to be. Just allow some allowance and move small steps ahead. The universe will move with you. Don't restrict it with your head. If you're wanting to help more, then that's the way you begin. Pushing back, creating more time. So quietness. Often those that seek, they're wishing, they know they can do. And often it can be portrayed that the fear is to do with money, but that, I'm afraid, is not the real truth. If you go deeper inside, it's the believing in oneself, the prejudice one has, that they do not like to speak,
But the mind shouts out internally and quiets down the heart. That is the truth, and I'm sure you can see. Either that it still is, or that's the way it used to be. It'll be one of those two options. Simple as that. Because the way of the world, regrettably, is prejudice just that. It's built up inside. That needs to be let go. Because otherwise, you see, then the abundance will flow. So there would be no worry about material needs. Because you'd be trusting yourself and those words of the heart. So if that is wisdom, then I have the wisdom of all. But that is always my spiritual advice to all. It's following the heart. It's the believing in oneself. It's fine passing sweet messages to others. But it's needing that hope still in oneself. Hope is always around you. It's bred. It's into you. As the day you were made on the physical plane. Hope is love from the universe, the creator. Do you not see? Not always was known what would be made from the unknown. Yet look at you, and look at all things alive. There was no vision at all, just following the love to guide. So even the universe doesn't see it all. Its native vibrations change. That is it all. Allow vibrations to change. It's the way to ascend. To grow stronger. To connect higher. As it all will in the end. So if you can choose the best for all, let us say, then first of all, listen to your inside. And you pray. If you don't call it prayer, then that is the clear mind, you see. It's nothing about religion. It never has been for me. So please, let yourself feel even closer to the divine, because you are the divine. That's your spirit inside. So as I said, if you want the best for all, listen to your heart. Listen to it when it calls. If all was known the way it would be, would there have been any point for a creator energy? To create is really moving ahead, creating something new. Please don't restrict it in the head. It's never in your heart. The hearts are pure. That's what I mean by singing your own song. Do it the way you're going to do it. It won't be wrong. It's limitations to let go of. Putting oneself down. But when you find it, some then put themselves even further down. I should have seen it sooner. I've wasted my life. That's never true. That's the lessons of life. That means you've understood, you've ascended further. So no matter, please don't look any further. Just as you don't need to look behind where you've been. Just know it. Live now. The infinite. And abundance will be there. Keep ascending. Clear your own hair. So you just want you to close your eyes again. So you close your eyes and feel your spiritual bank, your spiritual bank accounts. All it needs is positive thoughts. Fill it up about new paths, generous support,
and most importantly, faith. Recognize that you are blessed with a body and a heart, that spirit inside. But you can raise that speech up into the mind. Don't let it be insightful. Don't let it be blind. Have a think for all that you're grateful for. Recognize that the more you keep your spiritual bank account afloat, the more capable, the more alert and motivated you'll be to finding those open paths. And that will support your full earthly, monetary bank account, you see. And know that you live in a world that with your help can be abundance and full of possibility. If you can do that, it is your kind of song. Others, when they see, they will follow along. Envision yourself receiving ideas and inspiration for helping others. I know there will be spiritual intervention for creating the money, the exchange of energy. And envision yourself acting wisely on these thoughts that the heart does give and have the possibilities for abundance, for wealth. It's already within you and coming to fruition. Know this. So know that both your spiritual and monetary bank accounts will align as long as you're fully listening to your heart and always being kind to yourself and releasing the prejudice. Just be grateful and know that whenever your mind starts to over-exist, can come back down to the heart and bring it down to those thoughts and then speak it aloud, because that affirms your intentions, you see, and pushes it out to the universe, to the creator, so that all can be as it's meant to be. Have a think about that for a moment or two as I come once again to reside with you. You can come to as you want.
Say what you want, but it won't change your mind. The same about you. And you can tell me your reasons, but it won't change my feelings. I feel the same about you. Yeah, you can say
you. And you can tell me your reasons why you won't change my feelings. I feel the same about you. I've said you got trance and sweet time. I just dream of me. Go close your eyes, 'cause I close mine. The sun will shine from time to time. Oh, you dream of me, yeah. You can say what you want, but it won't change my mind. I feel the same about you. And you can tell me your reasons, but it won't change my feelings. I feel the same about you. Yeah, you can say what you want, but I won't change my mind. I feel the same about you. And you can tell me your reasons, but I won't change my feelings. I feel the same about you. Yeah, you can
So he says, you weren't born wealthy, you weren't born healthy, but because of your glory, you can live in bounty. You weren't born rich, you weren't born pretty, but because of your majesty, you can live in beauty. Unthinkable grace, unlimited resource, so boundaryless. Really, you are blessed. Now your grace, let it overflow. Where do you want to go? There's one thing you need to know. Just whisper, and I will follow you. Thy heart, like yours, is selfless. Have your palms wide open to offer to help, to give and surrender, just like the help that comes to you yourself. Krishna says, my thanks is forever. Like you, eternity is your praise. Your name will be raised. Simply know that you are the best. The best resides in your heart, like all the rest. So that was Krishna. And let me leave you with this.
We're going to dance. We're going to dance. We're going to dance and have some fun.
The chills that you feel up my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of what's come. I couldn't dance for
Oh, I've got shivers.
your groove, got to deeply dig your walls, only the bridge. My cup of dish, my crocketesh wish. I couldn't dance for another.
He's got to be around over a week or so. So we've been having that Climate Faith song come up for a week. Since Family Zoom, actually. Alison got given that song before I said play it, and that wasn't what I intended to do. He changed it. It was going to be done his way. It didn't matter. I couldn't dance for